Here's one of the toughest scenarios in retroactive jealousy. You go looking for answers and you actually find something. I'm talking with Martin on Zoom and he's visibly upset. My wife lied, he says, in the worst possible way. She slept with this guy, a not particularly nice guy apparently, about 6 months before meeting Martin. And her story has always been that she regretted it. He was this pushy type at her work. She'd felt pressured into it. And it happened twice. Now, Martin had always known about this and he didn't like it. This predatory creep, having had access to his wife, it played on his mind sometimes. But it was 3 years ago. We all make mistakes. But now I've seen him, Martin says. I've seen a photo of him. His smug, laughing, disgusting face. What, you've recently seen this? Yes. And not only that, he takes a deep breath. It was more than twice. She was all over him. She encouraged it. She lied. She loved it. Whoa, she's told you this? No. Martin looks really uncomfortable now. I found it. I found these old text messages between them with photos and her sending these winking emojis. Martin pauses. I shouldn't have gone looking, I know that, but it's been on my mind so many times. And here I am, putting a new screen protector on her phone and it's unlocked. And I looked. And I really didn't think the messages would be on there. I've looked before, but never at the text message history. And he's there, tormenting me ever since. Well, there's no unfinding that now. And Martin's obsessing and playing all the mental movies, and it's now in overdrive. Checking for evidence was kind of his way of managing the thoughts. This kind of detective work feeds the retroactive jealousy. There's a relief of not finding anything, and then retroactive jealousy thinking says, oh, but what about her friends' profiles? What about that old laptop? What about deleted items? We're trying to resolve the uncertainty, the thoughts, I get that. Guys often say, I'd rather find the worst. I'd rather have my worst fears confirmed than this state of not knowing. That's the torment of retroactive jealousy. So what's Martin going to do now? I have to say something. I shouldn't have looked, and I probably shouldn't bring it up, but I can't be lied to like this. When we know we probably shouldn't do whatever it is, we should be listening to that because it's a compulsion. But retroactive jealousy says, yeah, do that anyway. I tried to take a bit of a stand. Martin, you've got agency here. You can confront your wife with this, and I know the urge to do that is massive. Or you can see this as an opportunity for you to draw a line and to take a completely different approach to all this. Well, this doesn't land very well. You're telling me to suck this up, to forget about the lies. If we find evidence that we're being actively cheated on, that's not to be sucked up. Even if we found out through snooping, there's a conversation to be had. I shouldn't have been looking, I apologise for that, but here's what I've found. But that's not the case here, even if it feels like it. Martin looks right at me. Play the movie forward, I say. How's that going to go for you and her and your relationship? Or do you take this hit and grow from it and call time on these compulsions? But she still lied, he says. People do. Partners do. And for many reasons. Just like people go through their partner's personal stuff. And two wrongs aren't going to make anything right here. Sometimes we downplay our past experiences. Or we apologise when we don't need to. It felt right in the moment at the time. And we're not to blame for causing retroactive jealousy that way. She was trying to protect my feelings. She's like that, Martin says. But she shouldn't have done. I hate lying. But are we obsessing and shaming our partner, risking wrecking a good relationship out of that principle? Martin's retroactive jealousy doubt was clearly there before he found the messages. It made him find the messages. And his underlying insecurity has been there long before. Martin said that he'd been uncomfortable about exes in previous relationships, but never as bad as this, he said. That photo has made this my worst nightmare. Yes, the nature of the discovery inflames retroactive jealousy in different ways. When partners are direct and they openly share their past, RJ reacts with, "Why did you tell me this? Why are you doing this to me?" And when it's discovered through snooping, RJ says, "Now I've got you. What else is there? Why have you still got this stuff? You must still look at it, think about it." And the anger and the uncertainty and the despair leads to further checking, snooping, asking, or thinking about it all day long. We need to address this obsessive doubt. And Martin's urges to bring up these messages or go back and look at them again or go looking for more, this is an opportunity. It's real life exposure to not doing these compulsions, soothing the anxiety in other ways. Not so easy, I know, but it's doable and it's worth it. I worked with Martin to help him stand on his own 2 feet with this, to not depend on his wife's reassurance or apologies or shame, to really get the past and the present into perspective. At the end of that first conversation, I reminded Martin that this is a growth opportunity, for him first and then for his relationship. Now, I'm careful when I call it that, because retroactive jealousy does not feel like growth. It feels like hell, but it absolutely can be. If any of this resonates with your experience, maybe you have an opportunity too. Thank you for watching.